Happy New Year. Do you set New Year's resolutions? I do, in a sense. I don't like the idea of relegating changes in my life or improving my life to a certain time of the year, because I know that I can make changes any day of the year. But I think that the start of the new year brings with it something extra special. And so I do set intentions. In this video, I'm going to share with you 8 things that I am going to work toward in 2023. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you have not yet and you enjoy this video, please be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell, because what that will do is it will notify you each time I upload a video about moving abroad, life in France, or finding the confidence and courage to live life on your terms. My name is Patricia Brooks, and in January of 2018, I left my job and I moved to France, and I have been here ever since. That makes 5 whole years. And the fact that I'm saying this is really surprising to me, because it was not that long ago that this was just a dream. And now I've been living here for 5 years. Really? How did that happen? Well, it happened first by setting an intention and then working that intention. And so I'm going to share with you 8 things that I'm going to be working toward in 2023 and share with you the steps that I will take to be held accountable to that. And I'm going to break these down into 2 buckets. The first bucket is intentions that I'm setting that are continuing something I've already started, habits I've already started. And the second bucket are new intentions. All right. So first off, I want to continue to live with a spirit of equanimity. Now, what I mean by that is I want to move through life in a way that there is this undercurrent of calm confidence. Right? This was something that I really admired in people when I was younger. I used to be a nervous wreck. My grandmother was a nervous wreck, and I got it from her. And I didn't like the feeling. And so I've worked to get to a place where I am able to face difficult situations without getting as frazzled as I used to. And so I want to continue that. And the way that I've done that is through meditation practice, through Qigong practice, by listening to calming music when things are normal, so that I will have built up this muscle of staying calm in the face of adversity, right? And it has paid off, because in January of 2020, I went to Greece and I flew out of Barcelona. I drove there and I parked. I prepaid to park. And so when I got back from my trip, I got my car, I got my ticket out, I put it in the machine at the gate, and the gate didn't go up. And I was like, what's going on? And I couldn't understand what had happened. So I pressed the intercom, and they told me I needed to come to the office to straighten things out. So I pulled around and I went to the office, and there was somebody in line ahead of me. I waited, a couple minutes. And then I was speaking to the woman, and the woman, I asked her if she spoke French or if she spoke English, and she didn't. She spoke Catalan and she spoke Spanish. And so there was this language barrier, and I had to figure out what was going on, because I'd already paid and I couldn't get my car out of this car park. So we went back and forth for probably about 10 minutes, and my blood pressure was rising. I could hear my voice getting louder and louder. She was getting frustrated as well. And it was not a pleasant thing. I was tired from my trip. I just wanted to be on the road and back at home. And I didn't like how that felt, that the fact that I had allowed the situation to kind of take my peace away. So that was January 2020. Well, let's fast forward to just last week. I was in Barcelona one more time, but this was a trip to Barcelona, and I drove there and I parked my car there. And I had driven into this car park that had some free spaces, because the other ones that were closer to our hotel did not. It was about a 10 or 15 minute walk from our hotel. And they had rates where you could have a 2-day rate, and that would have been perfect. However, I didn't see how to get it from the machine. So I just got the ticket I got, You pulled into a spot. We got our luggage out. We went to the hotel because we were retired. We were ready to just be in the hotel. And then we would come back and figure it out. Well, when we came back, there was nobody in the office. They had an intercom too. So I pressed the button and the woman spoke perfect English. And so she understood what I was trying to do. And she told me that I needed to go to this ATM machine in the parking garage and press the intercom there and somebody could come and help me. Well, we couldn't find these machines anywhere in the garage. And so we said, well, we'll have to take care of this tomorrow. And so we went back, we did our little sightseeing. The next day, we revisited the parking garage. And this time there was somebody in the office and he did not speak French and he did not speak English either. The situation we were trying to fix was not that complex, but it wasn't that simple either. And so I could see him getting a little bit agitated that he kept, insisting in Catalan, what he was telling me. And I'm sure he was right, but I couldn't understand a word. And my friend who had taken some Spanish in school tried to speak Spanish and we weren't able to figure it out that way. And through this whole thing, I'm tired. I just really want to be seeing Barcelona. I was calm. It was a very different experience from the Barcelona airport from my vantage point because I had cultivated this spirit of equanimity. All right. So that's something I want to continue. And going into a little bit of detail here because this is going to play into one of my intentions for 2023 that I'm going to share with you a little later on. So stay tuned. So that's number one. Intention number two is to continue to build community here. I have friends here and I would like to have deeper relationships and meet more people. And so I intend to get back on On Va Sortir. That's a meetup site here in France and see the happenings that are going on. Maybe I can go to some art exhibits or some things that I have not been doing in recent months that will get me out and get me meeting new people. So that's intention number two. Intention number three is to improve my French speaking skills. And I think the way that I'm going to do that is by recording at least one chapter of the French version of my book, Growing Bold, or in French, Vivez une vie d'audace, so that I can improve my diction and my pronunciation on words. And I think I want to work with somebody who can help me to make sure that I am saying words correctly. Now, I know that I will probably always have an American accent when I speak French, and that's okay. I've accepted that. And some people have told me it's charming to have that accent. So that's not what I'm going for, but I do want to have more confidence that I am pronouncing words correctly and that I am clearly understood because communication and communicating is important to me. All right. So intention number 4 is to continue to build my business. I started my business here in France in 2021, and it has grown to over 20 members. And 4 of them have already made moves abroad. And that makes me so excited for them and their new lives in their new countries. And I want to help more women have that experience too. So I want to expand my reach. I want to enroll new members. I want to improve the offerings. I want to just continue to build on what I've started. So those are 4 intentions of things I want to continue doing. Are there goals or things that you have started working toward that you want to continue in 2023? Let me know what those are in the comments. Now I'm going to share with you 4 intentions that are brand new. And this first one has to do with the parking garage story I told you in the beginning of this video. I am going to learn Spanish at a basic level so that when I travel to Spain, which isn't very far, it's 20 minutes to the border from my house, that I can communicate. I can have experiences that I have in French now with people, with locals who may not speak English or French. And like I said, I'm tempering my goal. I want to get to a basic level in 2023. All right. That's the first thing. So the second new intention that I have is to travel more in France. I recently signed up for the website Trusted House Sitters. And so I think that that could be a way that I could see new places in France. And so my aim in 2023 is to have at least 2 house sits in different parts of France. All right. So intention number 3, new intention number 3 is to write a manuscript of my 3rd book. I have been sitting on one idea for a 3rd book for quite a while, and I spoke about that in this video here. If you want to hear more about what that book could be about, check that out. But I've also got an idea for a 4th book. And so my intention for 2023 is to get a manuscript written for either book number 3 or book number 4, and get that to a place where I'm ready to share that with an editor and get that ready for publishing. All right. And then intention number 4, new intention number 4. And this is something I added right before I hit record. And that is to become a TEDx speaker. Probably back in 2018, somebody mentioned to me that, oh, you should become a TEDx speaker. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think so. That's not something I really want to do. Well, in March of 2020, I had a speaking engagement in the US, and this was at the onset of COVID, right? It was March 13th, 2020. And so I gave my presentation to a room of 4 or 5 people because we did it remotely. But at the end of that, I felt so inspired that I thought, yeah, I want to do more speaking. In the audience, there was somebody there who said, oh, have you ever done a TEDx talk? She was a speaker as well. I said, no. She said, you should consider it, because she had done one. And in that moment, that suggestion hit very differently. It hit me as, oh yeah, I think I do want to do that. And I hadn't pursued it. I haven't pursued it. It kind of fell away. It was not something that was in the forefront of my mind, but I was reminded of that recently. And so becoming a TEDx speaker is the 4th new intention that I'm setting for 2023. Now, I've done quite a few YouTube videos, and I could use your help on a subject that I could potentially write a speech for a TEDx talk. Let me know in the comments what you would like me to talk about in a TEDx talk. All right? So there you have it. 8 intentions, 4 things to continue, and 4 new intentions for 2023. Now, I know that making a list and sharing them with you is just a start. I've decided, I know what I want to work toward, but without a plan, I'm not going to have any success. So I know that I need to prioritize which one I'm going to start with and what time frame I'm going to commit to in doing that. I know that I need to look at the different approaches that I could tackle each one of these goals with. I also know that I need to break down, once I decide on an approach, I need to break down the tasks that will help me reach that end state, and I need to schedule those on my calendar, right? I also know that I need to look at myself and how I follow through or not, and what things could be roadblocks to me that would stop me from reaching my goals, and make a plan to avoid them or make those things less likely so that my momentum doesn't get slowed down or stop altogether. And I know that I need to find a way to stay accountable, whether that's an accountability partner, whether for my book, whether that's a writing group, what have you. I know that that is something I need to do. And then I need to get started. These are the steps that I help the women in my group with when they set out to make a move abroad. There's so many components to making a move abroad. Prioritizing what you need to do first, breaking the tasks down, and being held accountable. What intentions are you setting for yourself in 2023? Is a move abroad in the cards for your future? If you said yes, I'd love to have a conversation with you to see where you are in your process and if working with me could help you get there more easily. I'm going to put a link to my calendar in the description where you can schedule a time for us to talk. And I can't wait to hear all about your plans. Now, that is all I have for you today. If you want to learn more about my journey to France, you can check out this playlist here. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now.